Hello and welcome once again. This time it's just a tour of composts and the various stages of compost, and I thought what it would be worthwhile showing is how a green pile like this, which is just wood chips and grass, turns into good compost, and how long does it take and what I do to get it there. And I'll run you through each step. This is my latest pile, currently standing at 70 degrees centigrade. Can't take it out and show you because the temperature will go up. It's only a week old, very early days, but let's start at the next stage, last month's wood chip compost. So this is 1 month old, well on the way to being good compost. Can this be used now? Yes, as a mulch. I grew my potatoes this year, the good crop, in very similar material, and it worked brilliantly. So there's plenty of nutrients in here, but it's not quite finished. So what I do is I add, oops, ignore this bit, it's just a header. Actually, you can't quite see in there. I add any material I could possibly get hold of. This is particular material is comfrey leaves to the mix, and I'll mix in this stuff in with it and just layer it up through. This has got cabbage, horseradish, comfrey leaves, obviously, any green material without soil on them, and that will do absolutely fine. And that's taking it from a grade 5 mulch into good compost, just like you would do on a conventionally slow pile. This one's a little bit different. It's slightly different material. This isn't wood chip compost. This was bracken and grass, and it's a lot more fibrous. This is well on the way to be really superior compost, but I know many of you won't have access to this type of material, so it's a great idea. Worms are already starting to get in, but this will be treated exactly the same, but I'll probably wait until the winter gales and seaweed will be mixed with this to turn it into the best compost. Now this compost is roughly the same, but this is showing the negative side, which I've got it wrong. Now the same as the last pile, but this was using all the big bits of bracken, and they haven't rotted down. They're on the way, but they need more yet. And this has had a treatment of material as well as its hot composting phase. Again, it's not too disastrous, but it's not what I really want. This will be fine by next year. What I'm going to try and do next is try and give it a good dose of coffee to give this a nitrogen boost, to try and make sure that by the time springtime comes up, that will be gorgeous, crumbly compost again. In here, this is 12-month-old wood chip compost. Beautiful, crumbly, falls apart, absolute perfect soil addition. I say 12 months, probably more like 10 months, but that's how all my mixes will end up before it gets used. With plastic, sadly. A lot of people complain about commercial mixes having plastic, but when you use seaweed, when you use grass, where you can't constantly picking up other people's rubbish, it does end up in your pile. So I have a little bit of sympathy with the commercial companies, because I can't beat the inclusion of bits of plastic. Now I'm in control of the process. Never mind. The absolute best compost is in this one, and it's worm finish compost. So this is the sort of compost that's been through the phase that we all know and love earlier on, and then this has food scraps added to it: parsnip, tea bags, frozen carrot and veg, grapes, gherkins, anything that you can find from the kitchen scraps goes in here, and the worms will munch their way through it and produce such superior compost, it's unbelievable. But there's only so much material that I can get from the kitchen. We're not very wasteful. We tend to eat everything. These are peelings, bits of parsnip. Oh, if you have potato scraps, I personally would really vouch for them being frozen. It helps the worms get to work on them very fast and helps them digest the material very much faster. Also stops volunteer potatoes, because I'm not into that. I want potatoes growing where I want them to grow, not in well compost that I've just applied. Again, layers of carpet on top so the worms can work right to the surface, keep them nice and warm in the winter. Great stuff. Under here, this is a mixture of leaf mould, 2-year-old leaf mould, and if I dig down, wood shavings, 3-year-old wood shavings. That is my seed mix for next year. Inside an old water barrel is a mixture of this year's potato compost that didn't have any problems, no blight, and it's in perfect condition, of course, but of course it's now suffered with lack of nutrients a little bit. So I've added layers of comfrey in, not too much, but this will benefit enormously from the first storms of winter and the seaweed addition. And this, along with the worm compost, is nutritionally dense and perfect for your garden. So reuse, don't get rid of compost, don't chuck it on your garden, reinvigorate it and make it go again. And everything you've seen so far has been plant-based. This is the first and only one that is, look, all these here. Young worms up. I'm just going to get them off because when I put the lid back on, I'll squish them, and I don't want to do that. Anyway, this one here is the only one that is based on ex guinea pig bedding, so it's not suitable for vegans, of course, blatantly obvious, and it's in quite good condition. It's taken a long time to get down to this condition. The wood shavings hold on a long time, a lot longer than wood chips. Now I found it hard to reduce it. It's got some remnants of the blight-free potato harvest, and to prove a point, I'm guessing that's a potato of sorts. I don't know what that is. Oh well. Anyway, there you go. That is more or less all of my composts. I'm gonna just wipe around here. I don't want to squash no deers. They work well for me. So there we are. That's a quick guided tour of 11 Daleks and one full compost bay. What I'm going to be using it all for, we'll have to wait till another day because things are going to be signed on the dotted line yet. But I think it might be exciting for next year for me. I don't know what you lot, but it's a new development, and as long as it goes ahead, I will update you in due course. Anyway, thanks a lot for joining me this time. I'll see you next time for something else. I don't know what yet. Thank you very much, guys. Until next time, keep well.